Daniel. Today is Monday, January the 22nd. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
Now the pledge to the Texas flag.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Good morning, Dr. Seagulls. I'm here with the lunch menu. Today we're having baked potato or sloppy joes.
See ya at lunch.
Hey there. Welcome to Life Noggin. Food is pretty awesome. From pizza bagels to spoonfuls of peanut butter in my room alone. Just me? Regardless of what it is, I'm really glad that my animator gave me taste buds. But what happens over time when we eat too much? And is it possible to even die from eating too much in one sitting? Well, we're gonna find out, and maybe put off doing that 10,000 calorie massive burger challenge on YouTube. Since everyone is different, it can be difficult to make a general statement about just how much food is too much. And it's important to note that just because someone might be larger than average doesn't mean that they are unhealthy. But let's start by breaking it down and seeing what happens when we get too much of certain nutrients and minerals. First up is sugar. It makes things taste so sweet, but unfortunately it seems to negatively impact your health when consumed in increasing quantities. One recent study found a significant relationship between added sugar consumption and an increased risk of dying from cardiovascular disease when observing participants for over 14 years. What makes this study so important is that the researchers took into account how healthy the participants' diets were other than just sugar intake, scoring them using something called the Healthy Eating Index, which is used by the USDA. Regardless of how the participants scored, more sugar was still associated with higher cardiovascular mortality. Other studies have also linked certain sugar intakes to things like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and higher blood pressure. Next up is salt. Research would say that too much of it can contribute to things like high blood pressure, stroke, stomach cancer, and even osteoporosis. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day, and ideally, only around 1,500 milligrams. Next on deck is fat. While there is some debate in the nutritional world on if certain fats are healthy or not, one type of fat is typically agreed upon to be unhealthy: trans fats. The general consensus is that trans fats increases the level of LDL cholesterol in the blood, consequently increasing your risk of things like coronary heart disease. But one recent study even found that a higher trans fat intake is associated with an increased risk for all-cause mortality. More research on that would be great, because right now it seems like almost any amount of trans fats is too much. Long-term effects of overeating aside, let's get to the second question we proposed. Could you really eat so much in one sitting that you die? While there doesn't really seem to be any studies on this, thankfully so, there have been cases where overeating is thought to be the cause of someone's death. In these instances, the person's overeating was thought to have led to their stomach rupturing or caused them to choke on the food, which was the cause of their death. The frequency of these cases seem to be very rare though, so I wouldn't worry about it the next time you hit up a buffet or visit your grandparents' house. They always have so much food. Grandma, please, I said I was full. So what is one food that you couldn't live without?
That's it for the day, Dr. Seagulls. So, bye!